Everyone, welcome back to At Home Craft. Thank you for watching. I am very excited to show you our second craft, which will be using materials that we most likely all have lying around at home. This project is also extra exciting because we will be incorporating materials found outside, which means you might have the opportunity to go outside and do some exploring. So for today's project, we will be creating a cereal box aquarium. As you can see, I used a cereal box to kind of house my aquarium. So to get started, the materials we'll be using today include a cereal box. You will also be needing some blue paper to create the water background. You can use blue cardstock, blue construction paper. If you don't have any blue paper at home, you can always use white paper and just color it blue. You will also be needing brown paper for our sand and green paper for the seaweed. And just like I said before, if you don't have colored paper, you can always color blank white paper. And you will also be needing some colored sheets of paper to create your fish. And as you can see here, I just have some extra scraps. You also will be needing a pair of scissors, a brown marker and a brown crayon, a glue stick, a pencil, and then some optional items include googly eyes and a few rocks. So the first step is taking our cereal box and getting it ready to display our aquarium. So the first thing we're going to do is take our scissors and just cut the flaps off here. So I can kind of show you, it's pretty simple. We're going to just go ahead and cut off those flaps that you use to open the cereal box. It only takes just a few seconds. Want to get those out of the way. The next step is basically cutting along the perimeter here of our box to basically open up that display. So again, I can kind of show you, just go ahead and cut along the perimeter there. This might be a little trickier just because of how the box has the corners here, but it should only take just a few seconds. Alright, so as you can see here, I basically just cut off those flaps, and then I also just cut along the perimeter here. I like to leave the bottom here because that'll kind of create some depth for our sand. You can cut off the top here if you really want to, but it's not really 100% necessary. The next step will be taking our blue paper and basically just gluing it on the back here. So the cereal box I have is slightly larger than the construction paper I have, so you might have to just do a little bit of trimming, or you might even need two pieces of colored paper depending on the size of your cereal box. So whatever works, you might have to use two, you might have to do some trimming. Just make sure you get a piece of blue paper that will fit nicely in the background there. Once you have that done, you can go ahead and take your colored scraps of paper to draw some fish on. I can quickly show you an easy trick to draw your fish. So I'm going to use this yellow piece of paper here. I'm actually going to use my brown marker to draw the fish just because it might be easier for you to see instead of using a pencil. So what I like to do when drawing a fish is to first just draw the shape of a football, kind of like an eyeball or the shape of a football. Then go ahead and turn your paper around, and you're basically going to draw a triangle for its fin. However, you won't include that pointed tip right here because if you draw the triangle just with the sides off of the football shape, that'll kind of help to create the fish's body. So super simple, and as you can see here, that basically just creates the shape of your fish. I know it's not perfect, but it is an easy way to just draw that fish shape. Go ahead and draw those out. You can use as many colors as you want for your fish. I even used some googly eyes. I just had some at home, so I used some googly eyes for my fish. If you don't have googly eyes at home, you can always just draw on your eyeballs. Don't forget to give them a smile. And then I even used some markers to just give my fish some additional details. Like, as you can see, this little orange guy has a fin and some polka dots, just to make him a little more interesting. So the next step is to create our seaweed. So to do that, we are going to use our green paper, and you're basically just going to cut out strips of green paper. However, you don't have to make them straight lines because we kind of want to make the seaweed look like they're moving around in the water. So you can go ahead and just kind of make curved lines to make them look like they're moving. So I can kind of show you just how to cut those out. So you'll take one side of your paper here, and like I said, instead of cutting a straight line, you just want to do some curved lines to give it a little movement there. And then as you can see, I have my little swiggly here that kind of looks like a long piece of seaweed. Then you can go ahead and glue those on to your aquarium. You want to make sure that you'll have your fish glued on first. That way you can kind of glue the seaweed in front of them to like the fish are moving behind the seaweed. As you can see, I even drew a little crab down here. You don't have to include any other extra sea creatures in your aquarium, but of course you are more than welcome to. Another kind of extra step you might want to do is taking a brown crayon and a brown marker and just coloring in the sand. As you can see, I took a brown crayon and just lightly colored over my brown construction paper and used a marker to kind of create some texture in the sand. And our kind of last extra special exciting step for this project is, if you can, go outside, do some exploring, look around for some rocks to collect to kind of add to the sand in your aquarium. I just found these rocks lying around in my backyard. You can always go for a walk, maybe explore a park nearby your house, and just find some rocks if you can to add to your aquarium. If you can't, that's okay. I'm sure your aquarium will look just as great with just some sand in there. So that about wraps up our cereal box aquarium project for today. If you would like to learn more about aquariums and oceans and sea life, go ahead and check out our Scholastic Go resource by clicking the link above. You can also access that by going to newlennoxpubliclibrary.org, A to Z resources, and browsing through to check out Scholastic Go. Thanks for watching, and see you later.